All right, everybody got their donut and coffee. We'll get ready to start our next one. Our next presenter is Mindy with DimensionWorks.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I am Mindy with DimensionWorks, and we are a full-service 3D printing firm. And when I tell people that I am in 3D printing, their eyes automatically light up and they say, that's cool, it's the next big thing. And they start talking about things like, you know, Michael Phelps, they 3D printed him some shoes at the Olympics last year. And, oh, did you know there's a 3D printer on the space station? They're printing tools. And they talk about prosthetics, and they talk about 3D printing houses, and can you 3D print food, which is what that picture is on the right. There's even things happening with 3D printed body parts. Those are a meniscus for your knee at the bottom, right? So people's minds start going with all these incredible applications that are out there that are all very interesting. But what's important for DimensionWorks is that we have applications that are specific to the world of manufacturing. So we are here to bring additive manufacturing, which is another word for 3D printing, to both entrepreneurs and to manufacturers and help them apply that to their business. We have several services that help us do that. We are able to offer our clients CAD and design services. So we have customers that will come with something as simple as a pencil sketch or a homemade prototype, and we help them get that designed in CAD and bring that to life in a 3D model. We offer scanning services as well, so if they have a part, we can scan that for accuracy and reverse engineering purposes. We 3D print parts for people, both entrepreneurs and manufacturing groups. And we also sell 3D printers as well. So really, whatever stage a company is at or an entrepreneur is at in terms of 3D printing, we can work with them and help them utilize it to drive their business. When I say we sell printers, we represent 3 different brands: EnvisionTech, Ultimaker, and 3D Platform. EnvisionTech is the leader in DLP technology. They patented and invented that technology. Ultimaker is the leading desktop professional printer, and 3D Platform is the leader for large frame printers. So we have sort of different technologies covered that helps us reach different parts of the market. Specifically who we are, DimensionWorks was started in 2015 by my husband Jeff and I. Jeff's background was in the mechanical and engineering side of the world. He started as a machinist and eventually moved his way into plastic injection and drafting applications, and has been in that world for over 20 years, and started doing 3D printing in his last job, which then led us to start DimensionWorks. My background is totally different. I do not have any past experience in the engineering world, but my background is in marketing and sales and more of a business management side. I actually worked here in Ocala at Signature Brands for 14 years before we started. And so we have skill sets that complement each other, and we don't step on each other's toes too often as a married couple. Some examples of work. You hear 3D printing, I talked about those cool pie in the sky things, but I can talk about specific projects where we have helped manufacturers. It's not just prototyping, which is what most people think. There are applications for direct manufacturing as well. So who watched the series last night? Anybody? All right, so we are officially rooting for the Dodgers at DimensionWorks because of this story. So the company that makes all of the decals for Major League Baseball is actually here in Ocala. And 2 seasons ago, the Dodgers reached out to them and said, we want to update our look and launch a new helmet. So we want a logo on the front of our batting helmet that has some dimension. But they needed about 200 pieces, and plastic injection did not make sense as a process because of the cost involved. And so that decal manufacturer reached out to us and said, could we maybe print the decals? I said, absolutely. So we took a helmet, we scanned it for the curvature, we edited the design of the logo so that it would be curved as well. We printed them and painted them, and they debuted those on their batting helmets last season at their home opener. And if you tune in tonight to Game 7, you will see those logos on the batting helmets. So that's a direct manufacturing application. Jigs and fixtures is another way we work with manufacturers, so producing parts that they can use in their manufacturing process. This particular part was made for a manufacturer where they were having a hard time getting parts for their equipment because it was older, and so we were able to design a piece from a broken part and then print this as a replacement. And another interesting application is injection molding. So it's not just the finished parts or pieces that are used as end use, but also to create parts. So instead of steel or aluminum tooling, you can actually 3D print your injection tooling molds and produce parts. This particular mold we did for a company that makes custom parts for model trains, and this tool produced tiny little snowplows to snap on the front of model trains. Who knew? So that's the tooling on the left, and the picture on the right is the actual part that was plastic injected. Sand casting is another application. Patterns for sand casting have typically been made from wood in the past, but you can now 3D print those, saving quite a bit of time and money in terms of storage costs, so they no longer have to be made out of wood. So the picture on the left is an example of that being milled out of wood, and then the picture on the right is a part that we actually made for a foundry that we 3D printed. And then finally, another interesting application is for casting, like jewelry. We can 3D print the master part for jewelers or other casting applications. We've got a beer tap that we are working on right now. I can't show him to you yet, but he's super cool. But this would be another example of a character where you would print the part, make the mold, and then they can cast in metals. So those are really quick examples of applications from us. We would love for you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn to keep up with some of the latest projects we have going on. We frequently share those out. So that is DimensionWorks in a very quick run through. What questions do you guys have for me?